Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. And just before we go on with the review of tonight's whiskey, I just want to say a quick word. Thank you very much for all the people that have subscribed to my channel. As you know, I'm working towards that 1,000 subscribers. And of course, to get a little bit of an AdSense from YouTube, and be aware that all the proceeds that come from that monetization, of course, will go towards children in South Africa. So it's not going to go towards me. And of course, if you want to reach out for me to do some donations towards them, we are looking after 85 families of 72 children. And of course, if you feel you would like to make a donation, there's always my Patreon account. And again, 100% of all the money will go towards them. We buy food, clothing, school supplies, school uniform, whatever is needed during the year. So on to tonight's whiskey. A little bit of a cheat. I have the full bottle, the 25-year-old Glenfarclas. And of course, I saw an opportunity. It's not always available. And I went online the other day and they had a sample bottles as well for the Glenfarclas. So I thought it's a good opportunity for me to just buy a sample and not to open up the big bottle. And there's a good reason behind that. I have so many bottles that's open that I'm not getting a chance to get to them. And so it made a little bit of an economical sense just to open up the sample bottle, and of course waiting for a good opportunity to open up a big bottle. But I need to finish some of my full bottles that I just opened to a review. So a little bit of a waste of money. But anyway, so tonight we are looking at the Glenfarclas 25-year-old. It's a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. It is mature in ex-Oloroso sherry casks, and quite looking forward to it. Not a lot of information on the bottle itself, which is sometimes just a little bit of a shame. I also had some comments of some of my YouTube subscribers that do we really need all this information? And I think it is quite important for us. We spend a lot of money. We would like to know exactly what is in the bottle. So you have the real estate. Use a little bit. You have a big real estate at the back here, but they have their little logo on it. It would have been nice if they did add a little bit more information with regards to the maturation, also with regards to the chill filtration or not, and of course if they add any color to it. But I know from the previous bottles they do not add color. It is bottled at 43% ABV, so of course there will be some chill filtration. And I will also put a link over here. I did quite a number of reviews on the Glenfarclas. Some of them was a big hit, the 15-year-old, the 17-year-old. Also a little bit of a miss in the beginning. I had the one of the Heritage edition. In the beginning it was a little bit of a strange one for me, didn't enjoy it. But of course with a little bit of oxidization it could change completely. So quite looking to the 25-year-old. Give it a little bit of time. It has been bottled up for many years. It's been stuck in a cask for 25 years, so it does like a little bit of oxidization. And of course I poured this one, a lovely color to it. I poured it about 15-20 minutes ago. Could be a little bit longer. Sometimes time flies by. But give it some time in a glass. Of course, a lovely, nice, dark amber color. And of course, from the Oloroso sherry casks. So I'm expecting that lovely sweetness. I'm expecting that aromas from the sherry. I expect a little bit of a sweetness. But I also expect that there will be some oak tannins in it. Especially after 25 years. For me, the magical point was the 15-year-old. I did like it. From there going up, And once I reached the 21-year-old, my previous video was a 21-year-old, and of course the oakiness was touching on a little bit too much for me, but it was still enjoyable and I did like it. So I was a little bit worried about a 25-year-old. So only way to find out, give it a nose and a taste, and my opinion, or what I say, my humble opinion. So on the nose, cheers. For me, they all have such a distinctive nose to it. Lot perfumey on this one. I did not get that perfumey note on the 15 or the 21-year-old. But I must also say it is bloody hot here in Belgium. It is now 7:30 in the evening. It's still 33 degrees outside. Inside here in my apartment, we are looking at almost 40 degrees, so it's quite hot. So I suspect that will also release quite more of the aromas because of the heat of the alcohol. So I do, that alcohol does feel a little bit stronger than that 43%. But there's a lightness actually to it now. I did try it a little bit yesterday, was much cooler. There's a light perfumey note coming out. We say the Oloroso sherry is definitely there. There's that sweetness. I get a little bit of a bubblegum note coming out, maybe something with a strawberry hint. But it reminds me a little bit of perfume. And I get a little bit of that raisins, but it's definitely not a sherry monster for me. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. I'm glad I opened this bottle. There's a hint of the orange note. And then I get a little bit of a sherbet note. Again, something with a hint of a strawberry sherbet note. Did not expect it on this one. Fantastic on the nose. So on the taste, cheers. Sherry, sweetness, and oak. Not tanniny oak. I was a little bit surprised with this one. I was under the impression it's going to be a lot of oaky tannins, a little bitter note. On the first sip, it tasted. It's like walking into my dad's garage where he's busy making oak furniture, and you get that dusty note, and you get that a little bit of a taste of that dustiness in the air, and I get that same oakiness on the taste. Let me just try again. Again, I was so very surprised with the low level of oaky tannins in it. I like the sweetness, but definitely not overly sweet. It's quite balanced between the oak, the sweetness, a little bit. I would not even venture into the raisins because it's not a sweet raisins. Maybe a hint of a chocolate note, maybe a mixture between the raisins and the chocolate coming out. Let's give it one more try. And of course, with the heat, I think that also brings out the alcohol. It does feel like it's evaporating something similar to like a 48 to 50% ABV. But of course, I suspect because it is quite a hot day outside. So absolutely fantastic. Is this something that I would recommend? Well, there's two ways of looking at it. It is nice. It is maybe affordable for some people. This one, I paid a shocking amount. Well, at that stage when I bought it many years ago, I think I bought this one probably about 6 years ago. And 6 years ago, I paid about 40 euros for this bottle. And I was quite excited with my buy. 25-year-old. It's not always that you can say you have a 25-year-old bottle whiskey on your shelf. So a little bit of a bragging right some people were talking about on the forums the other day. But if you take any other 25-year-old whiskey and you compare that with the prices, I think it is quite a bargain, especially if you want something that's going to be special, maybe something you buy now, you keep for your retirement, or maybe you reach your 1,000 subscribers, or maybe your 10,000 subscribers, when you take out a 25-year-old, and I think that is can make an excellent celebration, and of course it will make an excellent gift for a whiskey lover, and it's not going to break the bank, and you get the bragging rights of a 25-year-old. So that's me on the Glenfarclas 25-year-old. I think it is something that I would definitely recommend. Maybe save a month or two. Don't buy cheap bottles. Save up, buy something. Let me know what you think. Maybe you've tried it before. Would you recommend it for your friends? Would you say this is something that they would like? Would you suggest that it is a sherry monster? For me, I just love the lovely nose. Also getting a little bit of a rich vanilla toffee note coming out now. So again, a little bit of time. I'm definitely not going to add water to this one. I'm quite happy with the alcohol level the way it is now. So thank you very much. Please remember to like and subscribe. Help the channel to reach that 1,000 subscribers. Of course, and remember that money that we can get, not going to be a lot, but at least we can send something to South Africa and make sure that we can get some food and some clothing for some really desperate people. So thank you very much, and I see you next time. Cheers.